people at True Temper, and they told me they had like 10,000 different shafts they make in their product line, and like 9,000 of them were bent putter shafts, just because of all the different configurations out there.
Wow.
But the thing that you've got to do is one, just try to put the shaft in so it's nice and tight fit, whether you take like bubble wrap or a piece of twine or a piece of rubber band or something, so that the shaft will stay in the head without it moving. And then you could check for face balancing. You might have to turn it a little bit here and there, and then set the club down, see how it looks. Once you get it to a position, just put a piece of tape on the shaft, a piece of tape on the head, put 2 little dots on it, so you can, when you pull it apart and go to re-epoxy the head, you can connect the 2 dots. That's the easiest way to do it, I found.
Okay, we have a question from Beeler. Are the trimming instructions in a file for download to have in the shop?
Yes, you just go to the Hireko Golf website, click on the support tab, and from there on the right-hand side there'll be a PDF file to download. Also, the inside cover of our catalog, all the trim codes there. You'll just have to go back to your main catalog pages to find out which trim charts to use, or which trim chart and notes to use for each shaft.
Okay, this one's from Winston. I get an R&S shaft burr, wish to make it more stiff than regular. I recognize a balance here, but where do I cut and how much?
Well, it would probably help me to know what shaft you have initially. Can you type that in real quick to Rob? Or is it just a generic question?
I'll have to wait a second here and see if Winston is typing to see. Winston, what shaft are you referring to? I'd ask another question, Jeff, but that's that may be the last one, so we're just going to have to wait here for a couple seconds. Oh, well, here comes Beeler has a question. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for Winston, is there any benefit to putting, well, okay, here comes Winston. I'm sorry, Jeff. The power play system.
Oh, and a graphite shaft?
Yes.
In all honesty, on graphite shafts, it's going to be harder to cut beyond the stiffer of the 2 flexes, because one, you could run out of parallel tip section. It's possible. You just have to measure it. In that case, there's a 1-inch difference between the R&S. So if you wanted to cut it a little bit beyond, you might be able to cut a 1/2 inch more, or possibly 1 inch. But do the math ahead of time. We'll publish the parallel tip links in the catalog. But also don't forget to make sure that you have enough shaft length too. Otherwise, you're going to have to use extenders.
Okay, Beeler writes again, is there any benefit to putting a wrap of masking tape around a graphite shaft to avoid splintering?
Yes. Yeah, we went over that earlier for 2 reasons. One, for the splintering, but the other one, and I find is more useful, is just to see your mark on where you want to cut. But that definitely does come into play. And never try to cut all the way through at one time with the hacksaw. Cut halfway, rotate about 90 degrees, and then cut. I think you're less likely to splinter or delaminate the shaft at that point in time.
Okay, John asks, why not put the trim code in the spec online? At present, we have to go to the catalog.
No, actually, there's 2 methods online that you could find them. They're both in the Sport tab. One's it's like an 11-page PDF file. The second one's an interactive module we have where you can just click on the product name or the code, and it'll automatically come up. I think we've thought about like hyperlinking, but there wasn't enough room on the product pages and the templates that we have to be able to have the trimming codes right there.
Okay, and finally, John is saying that he did not hear you tell club makers to take graphite shafts, and that's no problem, John. That's when we were running the video, and it probably just you weren't able to stream it. All of this will be up on our blog in about an hour, so you'll be able to see Jeff taping the shaft. Also doing what he's telling you to cut, turn, turn. All of that you'll be able to see live on the recorded webinar in about an hour. And I think that may be it, Jeff. I don't have any other questions. Do you have any other final comments?
No. Again, thanks for coming out today. I know the U.S. Open was on. I think it's a rain out right now, so hopefully you didn't have to go back and check any scores. But hope to see you in the next webinar. Maybe I think it's in 2 weeks.
You mind taking one more question, Jeff? Hunter asked.
Okay, go ahead.
When it comes to lie angle, should you take the club head off the shaft if it is already assembled?
No. It's fine to have the shaft in there because you're only going to stretch the metal of the head. You'll probably do more damage to the shaft by removing it than just leaving it there.
All right, good.